Hello and welcome back to another episode of Wornout Racing, and it's gone freaking nuts this side. Not only is the 6-year-long, slightly painful Turbo Cinquecento build going for its mapping session tomorrow, its first full mapping session, but I'm driving and joining you from a car that isn't a Fiat. It's like we live in some sort of parallel universe or something. But as I've said many a times, I'm not just a Fiat guy, and I do mean that. This is my Mark 1 Octavia VRS. Absolutely freaking love this thing. For £1,500, man, you cannot go wrong with this. I mean, I drive it all the time. It's comfy, it looks good, it's pretty quick, it's good on fuel, depending on which side of the fence you sit on. But that's beside the point. What is the point, though, is I've just got my way back from the petrol station. I've got a big old jerry can full of V-Power ready for tomorrow. I've got half a tank of fuel in the turbo already, but let's not take any chances. I'll be following down in the tow truck. So the tow truck will be driving down with the turbo on the back, and I'll be following down in this. I've got the boot full of, random spares actually, if I'm honest. Oil, coolant, some spare old plugs and spare leads and Jubilee clips and just stuff that's not going to hold me up. I mean, as you can probably tell from the way that I dress, I don't spend a lot of money on anything other than cars. I don't have a lot of money really, so I can't be wasting it. I mean, this trip's going to cost me enough as it is, so definitely always bear that in mind if you're ever going to do anything like this. Like, the mapping's going to cost you some money. I mean, it's like $350 probably if it doesn't go really smooth, and I get it done in a couple of hours, and it's like £100 to get it down there. So yeah, so the next time you see me, we'll be in this very Skoda Octavia VRS, and it'll be about 7:45 in the morning. I'll be looking slightly bleary-eyed, I imagine, and I'll almost certainly be looking a bit nervous, because I'd be stupid if I didn't. But we will cross that bridge as we get to it, and when we get there, we'll just see how everything pans out. So I will see you in a few hours. It is 7:45, and I'm back in the car, and my man Paul is doing his thing, getting the turbo on the back of the truck. So yeah, that's it. 58 minutes on the sat nav. We'll see how the traffic is. I've got a bag full of food and a boot full of spares. Let's roll on. Well, I've only gone and freaking made it. I know I'm in the right place as well, because I just parked up next to a BMW with a load of drift tyres in the back, and it's got a load of camber on it, and there's a Turbo MX-5 over there, and there's some Turbo MX-5s over here, so it's gone pretty well. So I've just pulled the car up into the rolling road bay. He said he's just going to crack on with it in a minute, and just to stick around basically. So slight snag with the transport though, unfortunately. I've used Paul loads of times, and we've never had any cross wires or anything with it, but unfortunately he'd actually double booked today, so we can't take the car back with him. So I'm going to have to leave it here overnight, but thankfully they're all right with that. So as long as it all goes to plan, it'll just be parked up here, and he's going to come back and get it tomorrow lunchtime. So yeah, let's crack on. I'm not the least bit nervous. So here we go, we're finally in. Ready to do the mapping. I've got to say, it feels proper weird seeing it on there when I've always watched this stuff on YouTube, other people mapping their cars. So understandably, massively nervous, but we'll see how we go on. They obviously know what they're doing. So yeah. Wow, mixed news. It was going all right, and then we started noticing that even though we were turning the fueling up, the air fuels were going really lean, even though we dumped a load of fuel in it. So we think that we've got a problem with fuel supply, because when we were watching the fuel pressure, it was dropping. As soon as he got on any kind of throttle, the fuel pressure, you could just see it slowly dropping down. So it's a fuel flow problem. So I pulled a fuel filter out the back, but that's done nothing. He thinks it might be because the fuel filter that I've got at the front is just too low a grade. It's just choking it out. So that's it. We're going to tap out for the day. I'm going to go back, order a new, much bigger fuel filter, and just run through the fuel system. But otherwise, I mean, the plus side is he did say that sounds pretty strong. Everything looks good. We didn't really have any problems. I had one fuel line come off, but that might have been because I was messing about with it. So yeah, a bit gutted, but you know, these things happen, and I'll book it straight back in anyway. I'll book it today. I'll leave it here tonight, and it'll get picked up tomorrow, and then I'll get straight home, get on eBay / or anywhere else that I do next day delivery, and then get me some parts. But well, as you would have seen from the video, at least it sounded good for a minute. Your boy did well. We'll get there. We'll get there in the end. Well, that's it. Cue the sad music. I'm about to drive home feeling slightly, well, I don't know how I feel about it, to be honest with you, because it actually went pretty good. As far as good things could go. I mean, as in the engine didn't just throw a rod. It didn't find any huge problems with the gearbox or the clutch or any number of terrible things that could have happened. But it feels like it's going to be something really stupid. And like I said, he's basically said he thinks it's probably just like a fuel filter. He said he thinks that fuel filter looks way too small. It's supposed to be a high flow one, but it could end up being one for like a carb or something. So I'm going to go back, I'm going to remove that one, and I'm going to put a big old one underneath the car, probably just in stock location for it. It's already got a split in the pipe, so I'll just put it in there. Test it up, as long as that works, get it put back in. But I mean, obviously today cost me £240 for the mappings. It's 2 hours, £100 to get it here. So I mean, that's 350 gone, 340. And I've still got to get it back here again and then do more mapping, which is probably another couple. It's going to be at least another 300 odd quid. So like, you're looking like £600-700 to get it done. So it's more a kick in the wallet than it is anything else. But you know, I don't know what to do yet. When you feel a bit dejected about it, you're always going to feel or want to do something stupid like, oh, I've done, I'm just going to sell it or whatever. But yeah, and obviously it doesn't take a genius to work out that if I come back in 2 weeks, that is 14, that's about a week and a half before my track day. Yeah, and I'm supposed to be getting the silver car, the slug, ready just in case. So I've got to try and sit down, do some sort of plan. Either way, roll whatever sad music I decide to put over this, or time lapse, or if I even decide to do one. But I'm going home, I'm hot. My new shirt, which by the way, I forgot to say this, I will plug this a little bit more when I get home, when I don't feel quite so boiling hot. But my new shirt got dirty because it was leaking fuel. I had to jump underneath the car. How terrible is that? And we're back in an empty garage because, as I mentioned earlier on, my car is currently still at MTech Automotive because they had a bit of a mix-up with the transport side of things. So it's getting picked up tomorrow. But yeah, so I'm going to try not to be too despondent about this. Let's look at the positives for the time being. Matt at MTech Automotive did say, up to the point where we obviously had the problems, everything's sounding good. I didn't get any weird noises from the engine. It sounds good, sounds smooth. The fueling's good at that first like initial step. The exhaust sounds decent. Apart from a fuel hose coming off under the car, probably because I was messing about under there when we knew we had an issue. Absolutely uneventful. It actually sounded and looked fantastic. Bad things. Obviously, one, today cost me, it was £240 for the mapping session, because it was 2 hours plus VAT. £90 to get it down there, so anyone who's good at maths knows that's £330. As I've always said to all of you, cars, genuinely, at least to me at least, should be a load of fun, and you shouldn't need to spend a lot of money. And I will probably say at this particular moment in time, I'm not having a lot of fun. The last 6 months building this car, even probably before that really, hasn't been that enjoyable. I've been building it for so long now, it just feels like I'm going over old ground constantly with it. It's always something. It's usually the same kind of things. And I do genuinely feel like I've got to a point now where I've sorted everything. Like there's nothing left to sort on it. I've replaced so many bits, buttoned up so many different things and rejigged it. I do genuinely feel now like the car has got to that point where it is pretty much there, but it's kind of going against my ethos a little bit because, just say for argument's sake, it is just the fuel filter like they think it is. They think my inline fuel filter that I've got in the engine bay is too restrictive. So when the boost is building up, it just can't push enough fuel through the fuel rail. Let's say I fix it. It's like a £30 part. All it needs to do is take that fuel filter out, join the hoses back together there and put it underneath the car or fit it in the engine bay, whichever, or and it works a treat, and I drive all the way down there. That's still another £350, £400 I'm going to have to spend to do it. and just say something else does crop up, something small. It doesn't have to be a big catastrophic thing, but something that stops it being able to be mapped on that one day. I'm in the same boat. I got to come all the way back out. I got to fix it, and I got to go down. And I am not made of money. So now I'm at a little bit of a crossroads in my life now, and with this car at least. I do sometimes feel like the car got to trying to tell me something. It never really feels like I get the luck with it, but for somebody at least, this will be an awesome car. So I mean, I will say before this even happened, it's not just because I'm despondent and a bit upset about the fact that it's busted. I did say beforehand, I've been thinking about this for months. If it didn't go well at the mapping session, and it did actually go pretty well, if it didn't go well at the mapping session, it was going to cost me too much more to fix it, then I was going to have to consider selling it. Mostly because that money could be used for me to start enjoying something else. Like I went on that track day in September with the Slug, as you all know. It's like a £200 car with £400 worth of secondhand bits and stuff thrown at it. And I still think about that track day now. I still had so much fun meeting all those people and like getting out and doing what I love, man. And really, one of the main reasons I even do cars is because of the social aspect of it. And I used to go to so many shows. I used to have like a different car every sort of 6 months to a year because it was nice getting involved in different sort of scenes and stuff. But this car's just sapped like the life out of me for the last 6 years. Like there's a lot of opportunities I've missed out on. A lot of cars I couldn't buy, a lot of projects I wanted to do in the garage because it was always filled with a car. So there's definitely a part of me now that is considering putting it out for sale as it is. I think even as it is stands now, it's still got some good money in it. It needs a tiny little bit of finishing off for somebody who's got a little bit of spare cash to do it. And it'll be a wicked car. Like I know it. I know if I sell it, I'll always think, that would have been a lot of fun. That car would have been a lot of fun. But it ain't a lot of fun to be at the moment. So we'll have to see. But I'll keep you all updated on that anyway. You'll soon find out about it if you watch the channel, go on any of the Facebook groups I'm part of, have my Instagram account. The for sale ad will obviously go up there if I do decide to go through with it. It's looking likely at the moment. And this is, right, now this isn't actually how I wanted to do this. It wasn't how I actually planned on launching it, but you may have noticed throughout my day that I've got this Wornout racing t-shirt on. I've really not that mentioned that much. So I've actually now got an online store. It is live, it is active. I'm going to put the link in the description. You will have to bear with it a little bit. There's a small tech fault with it where 2 of my t-shirts are duplicated. It doesn't matter, you can buy either one. It won't cause any problems, but it's just appeared in the shop twice. I don't know why it does it. But I'm really happy how they've come out. I said this is the logo that I designed. I've got a few more ideas that I'm getting buttoned up at the moment, so they're going to be a little bit more artistic and stuff. So this is just the first lineup. There's some unisex t-shirts on there, girls comfort t-shirt, girls tank top, a hoodie and a mask and stuff. Go check it out. I'm not making a huge amount of money on them. I just enjoy doing this. It's actually something I probably enjoy doing probably as much as, if not more than the cars. I love designing stuff. So obviously any money that I make from this will go towards the cars, whichever one they actually are. I think I'd probably have to sell quite a lot of t-shirts for me to consider just chucking a load more money at the turbo, but you know, you never know. So go check it out. I'd absolutely love to see it. I've also still got a few stickers left, not very many, but I've now sorted out another, like a permanent supplier, if you will. And I can actually make them slightly cheaper because I get them a lot cheaper per unit. So if you want a sticker, let me know. Send me an Instagram message or go on the Wornout Racing Facebook page because I send those out myself. They're £3 to the UK mainland, but I've had to make them £3.75 to Europe just because of the postage charges. Nuts. So yeah, is it how I wanted the day to end? No. It's how I want the day to start. It started perfectly. But it's ending like this, and there's nothing I can do about it now. Thank you so much for sticking with me up to this point. Please don't anyone feel too disappointed about the fact that if I do end up selling the turbo, it just means then, if nothing else, on the video channel, on the channel, I'm going to be able to make a load more content about other things. I'll probably start looking a bit more enthusiastic about it. I'll be able to start doing more stuff with the Slug. Potentially even stick the supercharger on it at some point because I'll be able to build that outside of the car. Buy another car. I'd love to buy another car now and just dive into something completely different and get out there and do some shows, see some people, and just start enjoying myself again a bit with it. But let's not dwell on it too much. Thank you for watching, and I will update you very soon.